Hey there, friends. So check this out. This is an exercise that I've been using lately to warm up with my timing and direction transitions, as well as getting my poi dance involved as well. All the pieces move together, and I really, really love it. I get to move back and forth between two timing and direction modes and integrate poi dance into it. So that is what I want to share with you in this video. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, we're going to be looking into one of my favorite transition drills that I've come up with lately, and one that integrates them deeply into poi dance. But before we do, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterror Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Pekha Pekkonen. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. Alright, so transitions. Usually when I'm teaching people how to get back and forth between different poi moves, I'm doing so by teaching them how to use stalls in order to get there. The reason for this is pretty simple. I think stalls just look really cool, and they can be very percussive, as well as being a kind of jumping off point for getting into plane breaking later on. However, they're not always the best call. One of my students these past few months is somebody who mostly uses programmable poi. And if you've used programmable poi, you know that when you perform stalls, they kind of wiggle around a little bit. The weight distribution isn't what it is when you're using sets of poi that all the weight is kind of focused into the end. So this presented a little bit of a problem in teaching her how to do transitions, because really the only options that we had left were to use pendulums. But as it turned out, there was a hidden opportunity in using transitions in this way. And I'm going to show you what it was. Alright, so the first step is I'm going to teach you a basic transition drill that I gave to this same student. Namely, we're going to work our way back and forth between together opposite and together same using nothing but pendulums. So to start with, just get the poi in your right hand spinning counterclockwise like it would be if you were performing a forwards butterfly. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of take away the momentum on it so it just swings off to the side, and then swing it back around clockwise. When you want to switch back, you take away some of the momentum and let it go into a pendulum out to the side and bring it back around counterclockwise. So what we're looking for is to do a pendulum out to the right, come back around clockwise, a pendulum off to the left, come back around counterclockwise, pendulum off to the right, come back around clockwise, pendulum off to the left, come back around counterclockwise. Be able to go back and forth with no more than a single beat in between each of these pendulums. So your next step is that you're going to try and bring your left hand poi into things. So as you're performing a butterfly with both poi, you're going to go ahead and do that pendulum off to the right, and you should wind up with both of the poi spinning clockwise together in wall plane. You probably want to keep your hands at least a poise width apart to make sure that the poi cannot run into each other or into either one of your arms or hands. From here, you perform another pendulum with your right hand, sweeping underneath the left, and bring it back around counterclockwise to bring you back into a butterfly. Again, that's the right hand goes out into a pendulum, and you bring both hands around clockwise. Right hand is a pendulum under the left, and you come back around in butterfly. It's gonna take some work at first to be able to execute that pendulum with only one hand at a time. One thing that might help, honestly, is if you focus more on just keeping the left hand going, even if the right hand doesn't execute the pendulum perfectly, just keep that left hand going, and then you can bring the right hand poi back around in the proper direction. Again, we kind of just keep the left hand going while the right hand stops, and we bring it back around into butterfly. Ultimately, the goal is to be able to go straight back and forth like so. Okay, now we have to learn how to do this same thing on the left. So what that's going to look like is we go ahead and start spinning the poi clockwise like it would be if we were performing a butterfly. And we're going to go ahead and execute a pendulum out to the left and then let the poi swing back around counterclockwise. We then want to do a pendulum off to the right and let the poi come back around clockwise. So pendulum to the left, counterclockwise, pendulum to the right, clockwise, pendulum to the left, counterclockwise, pendulum to the right, clockwise. Again, you want to be able to go through and do no more than a single beat as you go back and forth when you really get this exercise down. And then of course our next exercise is to go ahead and try and keep the right hand poi spinning while the left poi goes off and does these pendulums, like so. As you go out to the left, you bring the left hand back, and we wind up with both of the poi spinning counterclockwise. Then the left hand poi swings under the right in a pendulum and comes back around in a butterfly. So we go left out to the left, we wind up with both poi and wall plane spinning in together, same, counterclockwise, and then the left hand swings under the right to bring us back into butterfly. Left off to the left, we go into wall plane, counterclockwise, left off to the right, and we come back around in butterfly. Just like with the right hand, you may find it useful to really just focus on keeping the right hand spinning while the left poi just stops, and then bring it back around in the proper direction, and then do the same thing once again, focus on keeping the right hand spinning, and then bring the left hand around into a butterfly. Cool. If you get that down, there's only one step left before we're ready to start bringing the footwork into things. So the next step of this exercise is we're going to work on trying to alternate which hand does the pendulum. So rather than thinking it's going to be right hand does the pendulum and then right hand does the pendulum again, we're instead going to think right hand does a pendulum and then left hand does a pendulum. Right hand does a pendulum and then left hand does a pendulum. So this will mean that we're going to switch back and forth from butterfly to having both of the poi spinning clockwise in wall plane and together same, to having the poi spinning in a reverse butterfly, that is, they're coming up through the middle rather than down through the middle, and then we're going to switch to having both poi spinning counterclockwise in wall plane, before finally returning to that butterfly that we started with. Once again, we do a pendulum with the right, come around clockwise. We do a pendulum with the left, reverse butterfly. We do a pendulum with the right, counterclockwise. We do a pendulum with the left, come back around clockwise. You want to be able to get it to the point where you only need to do a single beat with the poi in between each of these adjustments, like so. Cool, so if all of that is seeming reasonably intuitive, then now it is time to put it together with our footwork. And specifically, we're going to be doing a little dance move called a chassé. Chassé just means to chase, and the way I think of it is it's almost like a skip. You can either do it front to back, or you can do it side to side, like so. The way I'm thinking of this happening is you're kind of like doing a little bit of a leap up and you're kind of clicking your heels together. And when you come down, you're kind of letting the momentum kind of drop down and around and out in order to kind of work it off. And then we come back together, click the heels together, and work the momentum off. Click the heels together and out. 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 So the next step is to add the poi into that. So as you may or may not have surmised by now, we're going to be matching up our movements to either side of the stage with our hands performing pendulums. Let me show you what that's going to look like here. So from butterfly, I'm going to go ahead and do my leap and chassé, and that is my cue to do the pendulum with my right hand poi and bring both poi back around in clockwise. Now from here, it's my cue to do the chassé back over to stage left, boom, and to do the pendulum out with my left hand, bringing the poi around in a reverse butterfly. Now this is where things get interesting, because now as I chassé over to stage right, I'm going to be doing a pendulum underneath my left hand with my right hand poi and leaning my body over to the right. So there's kind of almost like a little bit of a contrast in the motion here, where I'm moving in the opposite direction that my poi is. But the thing is, as I come back around with both of my poi spinning counterclockwise and do the chassé over to stage left, I'm going to wind up doing the same thing with my left hand poi, swinging it under my right hand before I come back around in a butterfly. So what we get out of this is moments both when we chassé to the direction of the pendulum, as well as moments when we chassé against the direction of the pendulum. We have both moments where we're working with the poi and against it, and I think that's part of what makes this exercise look kind of cool visually. So all together, we're looking to chasse to the right, come around clockwise, chasse to the left, reverse butterfly, chasse to the right, counterclockwise, chasse to the left, back to butterfly, clockwise, reverse butterfly, counterclockwise, butterfly, clockwise, reverse butterfly, counterclockwise, and butterfly. And of course, if you want to, you can really get into this and throw your momentum around. You can experiment not just with having the poi kind of spinning at your hands, but by doing full gigantic extensions with the poi as you're doing these leaps to either side. Now, personally, I have been finding that this exercise works best with music, so I'm going to go ahead and throw some on and show you what it looks like when I bring it to a beat. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, go! Awesome. So I hope you all enjoy this exercise too. If you make use of it in your own practice, please post some video online and make sure to tag me. I am at DrexFactor on Instagram and TikTok, as well as on YouTube, and I would love to see your hard work. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find this video, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen, right over here, right now. If you enjoy watching these poi dance tutorials, these lessons where I take you through some of the ways I've been developing my technique, and you'd love to see more of them, I'd love to make more of them. The best way that you can make that happen is by signing up to support my work over on Patreon. You can do that over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Doing that allows me to focus more time on creating videos rather than having to do other things that'll bring money in the front door so I can pay rent and eat and all that. So if this is an effort you want to see continue, that's the way to make it happen. Go check that out, please and thank you. If you'd like to learn more about poi dance techniques and how you can combine the two of them together, I have a video on pas de bourrées put together with poi tricks that you may enjoy. I'll go ahead and link to that down in the description or up on screen. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow yourselves today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.